For almost 1 year now, Russia's war of aggression has been sowing death and destruction. Putin is not only waging a brutal war on the battlefield, but he is also viciously targeting civilians. And the aggressor has to pay for this. Today, we're turning up the pressure with a 10th package of sanctions. First, we propose further export bans worth more than 11 billion euros to deprive the Russian economy of critical technology and industrial goods. For maximum impact, we're targeting many industrial goods that Russia needs and that it cannot get through backfilling by third countries. Vital goods such as electronics, specialized vehicles, machine parts, spare parts for trucks and jet engines. And we are targeting goods for the construction sector, which can be directed to Russia's military, such as antennas or cranes. Second, we will further restrict the export of dual-use goods and advanced tech goods. We propose controls on 47 electronic components that can be used in Russian weapon systems, including drones, missiles, and helicopters, and on specific rare earth materials and thermal cameras. With this, we have banned all tech products found on the battlefield, and we will make sure that they don't find other ways to get there. And this is why, for the first time ever, we are adding third country entities to the Russian dual-use sanctions. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have been providing Russia with Shahed drones to attack civilian infrastructure in Ukraine. Therefore, we are now adding 7 Iranian entities to our dual-use regime. They are now under complete ban to sell sensitive items to Russia. And we stand ready to list further Iranian and other third country entities that are providing sensitive technology to Russia. This should act as a strong deterrent to other companies and international traders. My third point is about Russia's propaganda machine. Putin is also waging war in the public space with an army of propagandists and disinformation networks. They are spreading toxic lies to polarize our societies. So we are proposing to list Putin's propagandists as well as additional military and political commanders. High Representative Josep Borrell will provide you with information on the listings we are proposing today. We now have in place the toughest sanctions ever introduced by the European Union. And we have to ensure that they are strictly applied. Therefore, our 10th package introduces new measures to prevent circumvention. And this is my fourth point. We will track oligarchs trying to hide or to sell their assets to escape sanctions. And together with member states, we will set up an overview of all frozen assets of the Russian Central Bank held in the European Union. We need to know where these are located and how much they are worth. This is crucial in view of the possible use of public Russian assets to fund reconstruction in Ukraine. And finally, we are working closely with member states, operators, and partner countries to tackle circumvention. Our special envoy, David O'Sullivan, is reaching out to third countries to ensure strict implementation of sanctions and to prevent circumvention. And next week, we will organize a sanctions coordinators forum, gathering our international partners and member states to strengthen enforcement efforts. Together, we are tightening the screws on Russia's more and more. I call on the member states to adopt this new package of sanctions swiftly. Our aim is to have, together with our G7 partners, further significant sanctions in place by February 24th, exactly 1 year after Putin launched its imperial war.
We are approaching 1 year since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Until today, Putin is escalating this illegal aggression, weaponizing winter, food, and hunger. Russia continues to show its inhuman face with brutal missile terror against civilian targets. The European Union has so far reacted with unprecedented support to Ukraine and 9 sanction packages. They are taking a heavy toll on the Russian economy and on the Kremlin's ability to finance its aggression. Today, as the President of the Commission has announced, we are putting forward the 10th package of sanctions against those who are instrumental in the continuation of this brutal war, taking more measures, tackling the banking sector, access to dual-use technology, and targeting also advanced technologies. Additionally, I am submitting to the Council a list of proposals to sanctions for almost 100 additional individuals and entities for their role in undermining sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. And this includes those responsible for military activities, for political decisions, propaganda, and disinformation. We are targeting those involved in the human kidnappings, deportation, and forced adoption of Ukrainian children to Russia, and also those enabling a looting of Ukrainian resources. We will again hit hard at the Russian military and defense sector, to the organization related to them, or those responsible for the development of drones that are targeting civilians and civilian infrastructure. And this is not confined to Russia. Today's proposal includes a full export ban on several Iranian entities involved in the manufacture and provision of the unmanned aerial vehicles. Yesterday at the NATO meeting, we got clear evidence that this is happening. So we are proposing to sanction more key decision makers, senior government officials, and parliamentarians. I'm proposing to the member states to extend our sanctions to the proxy authorities and the so-called judges in the 4 illegally annexed Ukrainian regions of Luhansk, Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, who are providing fake legitimacy to the Russian rulers and to their illegal decisions. We are imposing restrictive measures on media organizations, on persons and organizations who are polluting the public space with disinformation and malicious narratives, adding to the military warfare also through information warfare. We will continue to increase pressure on Russia, and we will do it for as long as needed until Ukraine is liberated from the brutal Russian aggressor.